Besito. Mwah. Okay. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'll be doing a face mask, which is a pomegranate peel off gel mask. And I'll be answering some Instagram questions about during and after my pregnancy and kind of telling you guys my birth story, how everything went. So let's jump right into it and get this face mask on. So let me just tie up my hair and then I'll be back in a quick second. Okay, so my hair is tied up, so I'm gonna go in with the mask. So usually I like to kind of drag it down to the top, so when I open it, it's kind of there and I don't have to struggle in getting it out. By the way, the pomegranate, it's my favorite one. I'll start on this side because it's a lot easier for me. Oh! Oh! Help! I'm making a mess, guys! It's getting all over my iPad. Oh my goodness! Alright guys, so it's on. Let me just go wash my hands real quick and my iPad. Okay, so let's get started with the questions. So the first question is, nope, not answering that, Ben. Nope, not answering that, Mari. So what was a food you craved while preggo? So the food, not really food, but what I craved the most during my pregnancy is ice, especially the little crunch ones from AM/PM, if you guys know which ones I'm talking about. How long did you take to have him? So literally it was like a 12-hour process, but I felt like it went by quick. How did you tell John and how did he react? So this is a little story. I had slept over his house and then we had woken up in the morning to get ready to go to work, and then he was looking for some socks in his drawer and he found a pregnancy test that we had bought a while back. So he just jokingly, he threw it at me. Well, he didn't throw it at me, but he tossed it. He's like, here, take it. So we just kind of laughed about it, like, no, you know. So I went into the restroom and then I did end up taking it and kind of seen that it was positive. So I'm like, I was in shock, like scared, I guess. And then I think he kind of seen it, my reaction, and I know he got scared or not surprised, but scared or worried. And then I kind of cried a little, and then he's like, oh, it's gonna be okay, and that whole shenanigans. So yeah, that's how I told him. How did you find out you were pregnant? So I just kind of pretty much answered that one. What kind of symptoms and changes happened to your body? I didn't really have symptoms, only probably for a week. During my mid-pregnancy, I had heartburn, and then I kind of threw up just twice in the morning, not actual throw up, but just kind of a little bit of more acid reflux, I don't know. But other than that, I really never had symptoms. Thank God my whole pregnancy was good. Okay, so changes happen to your body. Like, what kind of changes? I did, like, probably the most basic ones is like getting stretch marks around my stomach and my thighs. And then, oh, I feel like kind of like around my neck area, and then like my armpits kind of turned a little darker. But other than that, can't really think of any. How did you and John figure a name out for your son? So, before I was even pregnant, we would always talk about like, oh, what would our daughter's name be or our son's name be, and we came into agreement that if we had a girl, her name was gonna be Samantha, and if he was a boy, his name was gonna be Joseph. And Joseph is because ever since John was young, well, I shouldn't make it that complicated. Okay, so his older brother, John's older brother's name is Joseph. So ever since John was little, he told his older brother, hey, when I have a son, I'm going to name him Joseph. And that's how Joseph got his name. Okay. How did you tell your parents? So, I told my parents, I kind of made like this cute little box. Like, I'll put the picture right here. I made the little cute box saying, hello, Grandpa and Grandma. And me and John, the day we decided to tell my mom and my dad, me and John were kind of debating, should we tell them together, should we tell them separate or whatnot. So we ended up doing it separate. Like, I told my mom in my room, I gave her the box, and then I was just looking at her. I started crying before she even said anything, and then she started crying, and she gave me the whole like life lesson, like, oh, like, I told you to take care of yourself, like, not to have babies this young, like, child's a big responsibility and all that stuff. So here's the funny part where I told my dad. So my dad was watching soccer in the living room, and then he was laying down on the couch, like, so literally he was laying down like this. His head was like right here, and I was standing over here, standing up at the end of the couch. And then I told Dad, like, I need to talk to you. And then he didn't pay attention. He's like, Veronica, leave me alone, because I always like to bother him. So I told him again, I'm like, Dad, I need to talk to you, it's something serious. He's like, leave me alone. Like, I'm like, so I just said it. I'm like, Dad, I'm pregnant. And he got up like this. He's like, what? Then he pretty much gave me like the same life lesson, like, oh, a child's a big responsibility, blah blah blah, and blah blah blah. So yeah, that's pretty much how I told my parents. So let me just quickly check if someone else sent a question in, so I could just delete the post. What was the scariest thing about your pregnancy? How was your body after giving birth? What type of weird foods did you crave? So what the kind of, not weird, but I craved ice. How was your body after giving birth? Like how I mentioned earlier, I got like kind of dark around my neck area, my like armpits. And I got stretch marks like around my stomach a little and my thighs. What was the scariest thing about your whole pregnancy? I don't really think there was anything scary, but let me go ahead and jump into like kind of like the whole pregnancy thing. So pretty much Joseph was due January 8th, but he came about 3 weeks early, December 22nd. Okay, so I already explained how I found out I was pregnant. Sorry if I'm jumping all over the place. Okay, so the day my water broke. So I think God does everything for like a reason, because that day that I gave birth, which was a Friday, I believe, I was supposed to go into work, and John had switched the shift to an early shift. So he was going to go in at 6 in the morning. So it was about like 4:55 when he got up. to start getting ready, and I kind of like sat up slowly, and I felt like kind of like something like a pop inside my stomach, kind of like a balloon pop in a way. I felt that in my stomach. I'm like, okay, like whatever. So I went to the restroom, and everything was fine. So in the apartments, we only get one parking inside, and then like parking is horrible. So he had parked like literally like a block away, and he was kind of running a little late. So I told him, you know what, like I'll give you a ride to your car since I park inside the garage. And then he's like, okay. So literally, we were walking down the stairs, and I felt like a little like a little water falling, I guess. And I'm like, what the heck? Like, I know I did not pee myself because I know how it feels like if you pee yourself or whatnot. So we kind of just left it like that, and then I was walking more, and then like the same thing. So kind of ignored it. Once we got in the car, John was gonna drive to his car, and I'm like, hey babe, like is it just me or am I wet? Cause keep in mind it was kind of cold. I don't know if sometimes like you touch something and feels wet, but it's really not wet. It's just cold. So he touched me. He's like, no, you're wet. So I'm like, what the heck? Like, okay, whatever. So we drove to his car, and literally when I got off the car to like go to the driver's side, like I kind of felt like a little more wet down there. So after that, like I got into my car, John got into his car, he left to work, like I was driving back to the garage, and we were on the phone. And then I told him, you know what, like I'm inside the apartment. So literally, he had told his mom like, oh, like I think Veronica's water broke. And then so she called me, and she's like, oh, like what's going on? And I told her exactly what happened. She's like, no, I don't think your water broke. But I'm like, oh, I think it did. So literally I called my mom, and I'm like, hey mom, like I think my water broke. Like I told her what happened, and then she's like, okay, just get ready, I'm gonna go pick you up. I'm like, no, like I could have John's mom take me over there. And she's like, okay. So literally it was like 5 in the morning. So no, like 5 something, like almost 6. So I kind of just like started cleaning my room a little, and then I went in the shower, and then the diaper bag, I literally packed the diaper bag 2 months before the date. I just wanted to be ready, but I felt like I wasn't ready still. So I literally like double checked my diaper bag, like I added some stuff, I took some stuff out, and I'm like, okay, whatever. So it was like almost 6, I guess. I'm kind of like off on the times now, like 6 something, I don't know. We drove to my mom's house in Whittier, and then from there we picked up my mom, we drove to the hospital. Keep in mind I was like normal, I wasn't feeling anything. So the nurses are like, are you sure your water broke? And I'm like, yeah, like I think so, because I was leaking. They're like, okay, well, we're gonna take you to the room, we're gonna like do a test, I guess, where like they put like a Q-tip like inside, and like if it has like a certain fluid, then if it comes out positive, then I'm gonna get admitted. If it comes out negative, then I get to be home. So literally a few minutes later, like I took the exam, and they came back, they're like, oh, you know what, like your water broke, you're gonna get admitted to the hospital. So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I wasn't scared, I wasn't at all, I wasn't feeling any pains or anything. So they finally got me ready and stuff. They put antibiotics. I'm sorry, because of the face mask. They put antibiotics, and they said like because the water broke, they need to put them in so the baby doesn't get like any infections or whatnot. And then they did induce my labor with the medicine Pitocin, because like 24 hours the baby needs to be out because of the whole water break and whatnot. So literally, I guess there's 5 levels to the Pitocin. They started me off at a 5. And like I was like whatever, like I wasn't feeling anything. no contractions, no nothing. So I actually forgot what time John got off of work, like maybe 3, 4, no, like 2, 3, I don't know. I totally forgot. So pretty much he made it to the hospital. He made it to the hospital, and then like the doctor wasn't gonna be able to come in to deliver like that early because I was being put at a 5 level. So they lowered my dosage to a 1, and time went by. Like it was like around 5 or something. They put me back at a number 5, and then like a little shortly after, like they were checking me, and like I guess I was like opening up and stuff, but no contractions, no nothing, till like probably like an hour and a half before actually giving birth. So my contractions, like John was through there with me through them, like it did hurt, but it's not like a intolerable pain. Like it was pretty much bearable, the contractions on my side. And then yeah, it came time to push. So like I felt like I pushed for like a minute or two, literally. So I pushed, but it was like about an hour or something. So finally Joseph came out at 6:36 in the afternoon. So I was in labor for like about 12 hours, but the last hour and a half, 2 hours was like kind of like where it bothered me the most. And yeah, so he weighed 5 pounds and 14 ounces, and he was 18.5 inches long. Yeah, so that's my birth story. So thanks if you made it this far. I'm sorry if I was all over the place or whatnot. So let me go ahead and take off my mask. Okay, so it's still wet right here, so I'm gonna just let it dry off a little. And then for my lips, I'm gonna put the Blissticks Conditioning Lip Serum, which is this one here. Literally with one dot, it does the job. Okay, so my face is so soft with that mask, and it smells so good. It doesn't smell like hard, like chemicals or anything like that. So okay, so I'm pretty much done. I'm sorry if I bored you guys. Thanks for watching, and then I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.